January 20th, 2022, just sitting here. I know for some prowess collector, the distinction and the distinguished, there is a monumental difference between an illustration and a painted canvas. That is either in some form of plush estate or private estate or donated to a museum, which is the only way that the treasure hunters and the fortune hunters ever find anything out from the innards of whatever. And as I sit here, I'm thinking of the George Washington. I'm in a big apple. They also say it's a big circus. Different kind of animals go to my circus, though, at this point in the 20th century and the 19th century since I arrived. It's in an outdoor tent. Elephants, lions, tigers, that kind of thing. Clowns dressed up in some mimic, whatever. Whatever's left of the mime community. Which I think is closed down by the 20th century, somewhere in between the year 20th century. However, most importantly, George Washington cut down a cherry tree. There's some declaration circa 1776. I have an appearance of a 17 with a 1976 problem in my very real pathway, since I've, an empath. I have an apple with seeds that has been left on the vine. There's also a gravitas and a gravity situation of a man by the name of Sir Isaac Newton, sitting below on the ground, just watching the apple, waiting for it to fall of some sort, where it then hits him on the head, and he miraculously comes up with some gravity, or the proof of some gravity, when the actual apple falls off the tree and just hits him in the head. These little anecdotal nuances of like, now why would a human speak on that or repeat that ever? It doesn't fit their normal linguistical thought pattern in every day. I have not heard these things spoken of in a long time. Perhaps the last time I heard it was in A Wrinkle in Time, based on where the Earth, with the ear things, the solar system, the Milky Way, Milky Way and universe, where the galaxy is broken at the moment. There is certainly, and I know I saw cosmologically constant, there is one other human that has acknowledged his level of knowledge, which is Robert de Graaf. He lives in a totally foreign whatever, and he seems to have been fruited in an apple tree of sorts with a much more educated forum or arena, Arena, whereas my New York apple tree and fruit did not have that level of education, um, for whatever reason. It is unclear to me. But the thought of a gravitas or a gravitational cylindrical feature where gravity could be heavier in one area, in one vortex, in one instantaneous whatever, but less instrumental or less hazardous to others in other area, is somewhere on, it's outside of string, because there were that were starting strings that were starting to wobble and kink before I arrived in however star children are made, designed, and arrive into situations. He also speaks of a fabric of space and time, which it technically should be more of a rigid format for health, safety, welfare purposes of the human biomechanics, but based on the tuning of the ecological at the moment, which is not in harmony with my instrument, meaning the outside exo the exoplanet and my interaction with. He showed where there was instability and movement inside fabric of space and time, which in some points of view, it makes sense that a planet would be so heavy as to push in, and that would make the circumference of a rolling magnetic whatever. That makes sense. That seems acceptable in an allowance because it's not vibrational and consistently moving in a manner that would be hazardous to and painful for an upright feeling and biological unit that has spiritual consciousness attached to it. When the humans, it feels like disconnected part of the string. It's like they took part of the strings, reconnected the wrong strings in. For whatever reason, humans do these evil medical procedures. And they caused instability somehow, whether by accident, whether by purposeful, whatever. I'm sure it's documented somewhere on file in their records at some level. I'm just in a area where it does feel like it has this unpredictable bending of the fabric at the most inopportune times, and it is really taking a toll out on my biogenetics. It's painful a lot, like, I mean, consistently painful. And it's consistently gotten worse, and the gravity more heavy. In Gravitron, where I already explained the machine mechanics behind that, other humans in the local Big Apple have experienced or been introduced to it. On this Long Island, which has it has an extension. It has not an extension. It has a expressway, which is numeracies. So my lie has a number. Which is incredibly important for the success ratio of chopping down cherry trees in some other process, and why Sir Isaac Newton is just sitting at the bottom of the tree when he's already discovered gravity, and why he's just watching the apple until it's ready to fall from the tree and hit the ground and just lay there rotting in front of him. What a waste of a perfect fruition. Star 1978, Star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza. It is Earth, Solar System, Milky Way, Universe, Galaxy is broken. And I'm in Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361.